$5.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Homeless shelter paused. Event centers stopped. Data centers unclear. Destroying parking lot at Cumberland County Courthouse done. I'm Charles Evans, your Democratic candidate for County Commissioner at Large. This has to stop. Let's take our control back as citizens to improve the quality of life for all in Cumberland County. Charles Evans for County Commissioner at Large. You're a bold and intentional candidate. Paid for by the committee to elect Charles Evans.
Hi, this is DJ Paul G.
And this is DJ 06. And we are the Gospel Blend Brothers. Join us every Friday
from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. for
the Drive Time Gospel Mix.
As we get you to and from your destination.
Vibing on good gospel music.
In the mix.
On WIDU 99.7 FM and 1600 AM. The Drive Time Gospel Mix.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show on the We Do Radio Network, WIDU 1600 AM and 99.7 FM. We're glad you're with us. Sit back and stay tuned and enjoy today's program. And here's your host for today.
And good morning to you on this Friday, the 28th date of August. So we're moving through this month pretty quickly here. It's about, let me see, come on, pop-up thing there. 74 degrees out there today. We expect a high of 86. And we're going to get some thunderstorms, man. It was raining hard yesterday in certain parts of Fayetteville and Cumberland County, and looked like we may have some more of that on today, so that's not a bad thing. We need the rain, we need the rain, we need the rain. We're in a drought. So, again, and we're in now for the morning show. We have Jay and DL waiting in the wings there. And good morning, Jay, DL.
Good morning, Troy and DL.
Hey, good morning to the both of you.
Appreciate you guys. Got a couple things going on there, you know. Some things we want to deal with. I know Jay wanted to talk about the whole Meta settlement. For those that don't know what Meta is, we're talking about the Facebook, Instagram stuff. A lot of youngsters are not on Facebook anyway. They're on Instagram because they don't like Facebook. You know, anything that they get on that we get on, we meaning senior citizens, DL, and in this case, that includes you too. So they think you old too, all right? So, so they get off of it. And I could believe, guys, that there was an effort to lock them in for stuff. That's what they do. I mean, you know, if you're trying to sell something, certainly you want a young audience. That's what they did with tobacco. Y'all remember when they had candy cigarettes? Are y'all old enough to remember that?
Oh, my God, I love candy cigarettes.
Yeah, but you see, the deal was you want the kids off the candy into the real tobacco. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's
right.
what.
And I went to the real tobacco, Troy. So I went from candy to tobacco, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. That's what I'm saying. It didn't work on me. I don't know. DL, were you ever a smoker?
No.
I wasn't either. So, but again, though, the whole Meta thing, and they're right, I think it is addictive, probably not only just to youngsters, but, you know, you can't tell grown folk what to do, but to target young people, that was wrong. And so, Jay, you want to talk about the settlement that They had it. It was like the tobacco industry when they had that national settlement. Now you got data, a data system having a national settlement because these attorney generals from each state were suing them.
Yeah, and for good reason. I mean, listen, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta have known for years and have had whistleblowers come out and say, this is addictive. It is dangerous for young people. They had a bunch of mothers come out after the settlement that have had their children who have committed suicide or have done some terrible things, with the body shaming. It's really dangerous. And apparently they have put in a lot of new restrictions as a result of the lawsuit. But at the end of the day, to say it's not addictive, as the cigarette executives said, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, it's not addictive, are just lies. And they knew they were lying. And it's shameful, quite honestly. I'm just going to say just for a second, Mark Zuckerberg is worth about $200 billion. And these other executives from these other companies make a fortune. And this stuff is addictive. Listen, I'm addicted. I look at from YouTube to Reels, looking at a lot of sports stuff, celebrity stuff. I find myself, sometimes I'll be looking, I think I'm on for 10 minutes, it's an hour. So I can only tell you I'm an adult. Look at these kids that are, starting at 10, 12, 13, earlier. I think Australia has actually come down even harder when it comes to social media and made it even more difficult for young people. At the end of the day, I don't know how you totally control your kids, but I think the companies like Meta need to be held accountable. And ultimately, this settlement of $18 billion, which was the largest of its kind in history, I think the state of North Carolina will get about $500 million from the settlement. What I don't know, and I need to read a little bit more because this just happened, is how do we use that $500 million? I know Jeff Jackson, our Attorney General, I believe I saw him on the news, very excited about the settlement, but where does the money go? Does it go to programs? Do families actually benefit? Do some of these families who have lost loved ones, will they get something out of it? So, at the end of the day, it's a good start. We have a long way to go, and I'm glad that Meta was held accountable.
GL, comment?
Well, I'm going to echo some of what Jay talked about. I would just love, you got to have personal responsibility as a parent of minor kids. If, not talking about myself, I'm just talking about parents in general. But I'll say this, I would love to compare our test scores from our K through 12. I would say Facebook, I jumped on in 16. I would love to know what our test scores was prior to COVID and after COVID. And you're going to see the correlation of social media because Meta, also better known as Facebook, has several platforms, Instagram, Threads, Forum, Reels. It can be addictive. I look at my phone every 7 days and it tells me the screen time, and sometimes I say that's a little bit too much. I need to go. When I walk past the bookcase in my house, I need to dive back into that. So that's all I'll say about it. And because it's been used for these meetups and team get-togethers, so there's some good and then some bad.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, my thing is, as a parent, which my daughter's 37 now, so I think Facebook started something around 2008, 7, somewhere in that 6 maybe. But I know why I got on it was because of her. She was in college at A&T, and so somebody else posted something on her page. She didn't post it. and somebody alerted me, and I got on Facebook because of her. You know, I'm like, okay, well, look, you put me on your page. So she just got another page and took me off that one, but still, I say, because I was telling her, look, you're trying to get in medical school and understand that a bunch of folk gonna show up there with straight A's, and then they're trying to lower the number of people that they're gonna bring in, and the first thing they're gonna do is go look at your Facebook page. And it amazes me how these folk don't realize that law enforcement does the same thing. You know, they're gonna go and see what you're doing on your page. I mean, I know one time, guys, we had a client. He put on his Facebook page that he was selling drugs, and so the police saw it and they went and arrested him. You know what I mean? I'm like, why would you do that? You know, I mean, it just, some of it's a head scratcher to me. I don't understand that.
I was telling my daughter, you know, she wants to run for office, school board next year. And the one thing I've been telling her all along, be careful what you put on Facebook. It can come back to haunt you. You know, if you go out to a party and you're all out there drinking, and you know, that shows you, you know, just out there having a good time and drinking, or you go to a protest, she likes to go to a lot of protests, you put that on Facebook, that stuff can come back to you. It's great to be proud of what you're doing, but just understand, you go to apply for a job, go run for office, that stuff is there, so just be careful, folks.
They're going to look at your Facebook page, and I don't blame them, you know what I mean? And there are some prospective employers say, hey, look, you know, if you have your stuff blocked, they say, look, you're not going to get this job without us looking at your page, you know, because, I mean, there are some jobs that are sensitive to your public image, like you're an educator, and, you know, you can't be a stripper out here at night and teaching kids during the day. But, I mean, it's kind of funny, but really that happens, guys. I'm telling you. You know, I read about it all the time.
Yeah, it's social media, I will tell you, it is, I didn't think I could get addicted to it. And, again, you know, I'm not on it most of the day, but in the evenings, a lot of times I would just find myself and I'm on that YouTube, and I don't get off. I can be on it for an hour, and I don't even realize it. It's scary, but it's easy to do, and you just got to be careful. Work-life balance, just balance. You know, don't do too much of anything.
Right. Well, you know, it depends on what you're on it for. You know what I mean? Because news is on there too. So, you know, if you're gonna, I mean, I don't see any difference between you looking at a major news network on your phone or your pad or your computer versus a TV. I kind of see that as the same thing. Oh. You know what I mean? Because there are people that
absolutely.
I talk to people and they say, oh man, you know, I keep my station on such and such and such all day long. And I guess they're saying that like it's a positive, but I'm raising my eyebrow. So that's why you're so crazy. You know what I mean? So, but whatever, you know, whatever. Anyway, DL, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much. I know Jay wanted to talk about the death of country music icon Dolly Parton. And I'll just say this about Dolly Parton. What I remember about her the most, number one, she loved kids, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So she loved kids. And when Whitney Houston, she didn't put restrictions on Whitney Houston when she remade one of her songs in The Bodyguard, like other artists do when people remake their songs. And just the philanthropy work she does, and she turned down the medal. She turned down 2 medals from the president. She turned them down from, I think, Biden and Trump. And, you know, I don't entertain with anybody, regardless of what your profession is. If you want to get involved in politics, that's your right. But it's how you get in. To me, is what you do when you're in politics. If you're going to be truthful or you're just going to be partisan. She chose not to because she talked about her career. And some people had a problem with it. I don't know why, because that's what she chose. But I respect the fact that she didn't get involved in politics, and I respect the fact that other entertainers and athletes want to do what you feel comfortable doing. If you just be truthful. That's all I ask. So, she was a poor person. She didn't grow up rich, privileged, as they say. She had to work her behind off in the male-dominated industry, and we need more entertainers that. To me, to do the good work that she did, the philanthropy side of the house, and she just didn't didn't like getting caught up in this crazy stuff they got going out there now as it applies to entertainers and politics.
Yeah, I think, I'm not a country music fan. I've never been into country music. I liked her for being the person that she was. And that's I was really amazed, actually, the amount of attention this got around the world. I mean, it was like, I know she was a big star, but the amount of attention the media gave it. I mean, I remember when Michael Jackson died, it was on TV for days. I mean, the King of Pop, one of the biggest stars in the world ever. With Dolly, she was a big star, and I knew she was a big star. I didn't think it would get the attention. But some of the stories you heard from entertainers, and it was also very interesting, black entertainers. I didn't realize that there was this love for her. You sort of think of country, and I'm just going to be honest, as more appealing to white folks. I know black folks like country, but it's more appealing to, it seems like it's a genre that is bigger in the white community. And when I saw black stars that were just gushing about when they met her for the first time, how genuine she was, and when the song "I Will Always Love You," it gave she made royalties of $10 million from that. She gave that $10 million to a Nashville community, an underserved community where they built something, and it was just the way she was. It was how she lived her life that impressed me the most. How she gave back, and I think the biggest thing of all about Dolly Parton is it's sort of the golden rule. She treated people well. And what you saw on TV, how kind she was, they said that was really the real Dolly. You don't see that much of that in Hollywood. Hollywood is a very phony business. People are all about how they look and the cars they drive and the houses they build. She might have had all of that. But on the other hand, she also seemed like a very good person. And it's really rare to see a lot of that in Hollywood. So I was very impressed, and I watched a lot of the stuff about her. I listened to some of her old music, and seemed like a really good person. So anyway, she will be missed, and that's my tribute to Dolly.
Well, I'm one of those black folk that I don't have a problem with country and western music. I like Charlie Pride, and I also like Southern gospel, as they call it, which is a country western flavor to the gospel music. I just like pretty much all genres of music. But, she is, like you said, she was all that now. But, what I found so amusing, though, was, I don't know if you guys remember that movie 95. You remember that movie 95?
Oh, I loved it.
And,
I
was a song attached to it, too. But when she played in that movie, that's what I remember the most about her. And what I really appreciated was that 95 movie. And, she was a great singer. And, people don't give the credit to, they think that one genre of music is more necessarily easier to play or to perform, but it's not. Country and Western is just as difficult as any other genre of music out there, So I really do appreciate the skill set that is required to play Southern gospel and those other music. They have something called a steel guitar. I don't know if you know that. If you don't know the instrument, you know the sound inside of the country western music. And I just enjoyed her and her skill set with what she was able to do with that. Of course, what we're skipping around is her body shape, which they had the little dolls out there,
Oh yeah,
for
exactly.
her, and the lollipop, candy and stuff like that. That was, but you know what though? She took it in stride, man. I mean, I don't think she ever complained about that, because that was a visible fixture for her, and I think she took that in stride and seemingly wasn't offended by that being used.
No, and just one other thing. I mean, let's be real. One of the biggest stars in the world is Beyonce. Beyonce did her country western album, one of the biggest selling albums ever, country western, and she partnered with Dolly on one of the songs. So, I mean, it hits everyone. When Beyonce is doing country music and she's working with Dolly Parton, that says a lot. So, anyway, she'll be missed.
Well, inside of radio, we know that, hey, look, still the biggest format is country and western. That's a fact. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. I mean, whether you like it or not, I'm not promoting one over the other, but country and western is still the biggest format in U.S. music that there is.
On radio.
Yeah, on radio. Wow. That's the biggest format that there is. I just never really kind of understood it, because it's more like ballads, you know what I mean? And, it's kind of funny, well, I lost my dog and then my wife left too. Yeah.
A lot about drinking and
right.
And,
but now, look, it could be depressing in a sense, you listen to it all the time because it's generally not uplifting. It's white blues.
It is.
My
no
word.
Question.
That's my word, white blues. Anyway, I find it fascinating, but just the whole music thing altogether. But again, hats off to her. Now, didn't she have a thing in North Carolina, some kind of show thing or something like that?
Well, she had it was a disaster.
Right.
It was a cousin of hers, I believe, and they opened a theater is it Roanoke Rapids?
Right.
If I remember. It was a theater, and it lost so much money. It was the city loaned money. It was an absolute mess with money from the city and I think money from her cousin. I think it was Randy Parton. That's what it was. It was the Randy Parton, Dolly Parton Theater. Did not do well, but she really was very loosely tied to it. They were just trying to use her name. But, yeah, you're right. Not a good investment.
Right, I do recall that.
But you got Dollywood. You got Dollywood in Tennessee.
Right, that's right. Well, look, we're going to go to a break, come back, and we'll chat some more about some other things. Guys, we have producing for us today Miss Tammy Quick. She's handling things on Fridays. She's, would it be offensive for me to call her Girl Friday?
I like it.
Anyway, go to a break. We'll be right back.
You have always put others before yourself. Put your country above all else. Given everything you can, every time. Now it's time to forge a new path. At Fayetteville State University, we believe your service is our debt. So we're offering free military family tuition. Yes, absolutely free. And with new programs like cybersecurity, anything really can happen. Fayetteville State University. Are you in?
It's Jeff Thompson, your bloomin' idiot from Bell's Seed Store, directly across the street from the courthouse in wonderful downtown Fayetteville. I know there's a lot of vegetable gardeners out there, and if you're looking for some place to find the perfect vegetables to put in your garden, I've got every one you could possibly want. I've got all of your late winter vegetables. I've got your summer vegetables, squash, tomatoes, cucumbers, broccoli, lettuce, cabbage. I've got probably 30 different types of herbs. I've got tons of different varieties varieties of pepper plants, any kind of vegetable you want to grow. If you can't find it at Bell's Seed Store, there's seriously something wrong. And then if you want to get flowers for your yard, Lord, I've got more color going all over the place for all the flowers, for all the vegetables, for your trees, your shrubs, anything you want to plant in your lawn and garden, you need to come check us out. It's right across the street from the courthouse, 230 East Russell Street in downtown Fayetteville at Bell's Seed Store, your hometown lawn and garden center since 1919.
On Thursday, officials discussed potential election changes that were first passed by the State Board of Elections last month. The race for the North Carolina State Senate seat in the New Hanover County area is heating up over a controversial attack ad produced by incumbent Michael Lee. The AI-generated ad targets Democrat Jessica Bickler, a Wilmington yoga studio owner. Speaking with reporters on Thursday, President Trump says he's been thinking about renaming Lake Ontario for a long time, just as he did with the Gulf of Mexico. He signed an executive order to that effect yesterday. Governor Josh Stein announced this week that Voters World Manufacturing Group will create 179 new jobs in Beaufort County. Tropical storm Dolly formed in the Atlantic on Thursday. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program held its Labor Day Booze It and Lose It campaign kickoff in Fayetteville. Law enforcement partners, along with the mayor, representative, Governor Highway Safety Program Director Mark Ezell, and others teamed up from across the state to kick off the campaign, which runs from August 31st until September 13th. Collisions and deaths caused by impaired driving are 100% preventable. The way to prevent them from happening is simple. Do not drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs. This week, the Fayetteville Fire Department's Community Risk Reduction was honored to partner with Dismas Charities of Fayetteville to provide hands-only CPR training. Dismas Charities works to support individuals as they transition back into the community, providing valuable education, employment, family support, and life skills. CRR was proud to add another important life skill, the confidence and knowledge to help save a life. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Good Friday morning. We start your day with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures at around 70 degrees. Some storms are possible, especially later today, with partly to mostly cloudy skies otherwise, and highs will reach the mid-80s. Some localized flooding and brief damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. After storms earlier tonight, temperatures will drop to around 70 degrees by Saturday morning. Some more storms are possible on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center. Good Friday morning. We start your day with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures at around 70 degrees. Some storms are possible, especially later today, with partly to mostly cloudy skies otherwise, and highs will reach the mid-80s. Some localized flooding and brief damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. After storms earlier tonight, temperatures will drop to around 70 degrees by Saturday morning. Some more storms are possible on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
I'm Charles Evans, candidate for Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. As your public servant, it will be my responsibility to work for the betterment of our community for each citizen of this great county. As your past county commissioner at large, I have done just that and will continue to put each of our citizens first. I'm Charles Evans, asking for your support as your Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. Together, let's build a county we love calling home.
Paid for by the committee to elect Charles Evans.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematorium. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
If you have been injured in a motor vehicle collision, you should understand that the insurance company is not on your side. It is the adjuster's job to get by with paying you as little as possible. Call personal injury trial lawyer Brent Adams now for a free no-obligation consultation. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
Back 25 minutes for the top of the hour here again, morning show, JDL, and I'm hosting here at the flagship station, 2520 Murchison Road, the We Do Radio Network. Again, we have a lot going on in this world. DL, I wrote to you there, so there's some things going on. We can bleed over into some of the stuff that's happening in the sports world. All of that is not reserved necessarily for Monday morning. If you want to chime in on something of interest for you there, DL.
No, well, we're heading to Carolina's playing in Dublin, Ireland this weekend. This is Bill Belichick's second season. I listened to the president of UNC, Chapel Hill. He talked about the opportunity of, free advertisement for UNC abroad and whatnot. But I'm more interested to see the evolution of this team under Bill Belichick, who's going to go down as the greatest NFL coach, won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots, and the 2 that he won as defensive coordinator with the New York Giants. So it's interesting to see how the Tar Heels perform over there in Ireland. They're playing Texas Christian, TCU, out of Fort Worth, Texas, tomorrow and kick off the college football season. So,
wow. I did not know it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, some people are predicting that the Tar Heels will have a 5-7 season, which would not make them bowl eligible. I don't know, as to, I think they're supposed to have a good incoming freshman class, but with all of these transfers and everything, and I thought you were going to kind of deal with what happened down in Louisiana with a judge basically saying that if a youngster, which is a different subject, but you're saying that if you go out and you try out for the NFL and you're not selected, then you can come back and play college ball.
Oh, yeah, right.
Previously, they had said you can't do that. And I'm just wondering, how do you guys feel about that? So, you go out and you try out and you don't make the team, you don't make the practice squad, you don't make anything, and now you can come back and play for,
Another
a college
year
team.
Of eligibility in college.
Right. How do you all feel about that?
DL, you can go with that one and all.
Here's my thing. LSU, you notice you said Louisiana. It's rumored that Louisiana paid the legal fees, got an attorney to have the player file the suit against the NCAA. I wouldn't put it past them because LSU has some questionable coaches down there. They fired the coach. They fired the coach a couple of years ago because he was paying folks, and then he went to a smaller school. Then he made his way to state, coached 1 year in basketball, and they got him right back at LSU.
Yep.
And you think about Lane Kiffin, who's the football coach. He's down there. He's going to benefit from it. Other conferences are not going to do what LSU is doing. So I just think this is supposed to benefit LSU football and basketball, and I hope they lose every game in both sports because they have some low-class individuals at Louisiana State University. It's going to be interesting
except Jaden Daniels.
I'm talking about the coaches. I'm talking about the coaches.
Okay, not the players. Okay,
the coaches and the legislatures that fund that university. They only care about winning, and I hope they lose every football game and basketball game, male basketball game this year.
Well,
so this is an LSU thing.
But look,
can I go back to what you started with, though? You had asked, you mentioned the Belichick They're playing in Ireland. I just have to say one thing as a Carolina fan. I think the Belichick experiment could be one of the biggest disasters ever in college football. I feel that he is going to go. He was like you said, best NFL coaches, 8 Super Bowls, 6 as the head coach. But in college, there's so much dysfunction on that team. The offensive coordinator, I think Lombardi, is on leave for something. His son is on medical leave, Belichick's son. Total disarray. If you read the reports, Paul Feinbaum, I think he's on ESPN, and he's also he totally said disaster this year. Terrible decision to hire Belichick. And then just one other thing about Belichick, the 25-year-old girlfriend has not done him any favors. She has been such a distraction. Fans don't like her. No one likes her. She needs to stay out of football and do her modeling or whatever she does because she's not been good for Belichick's career. I'm hoping they do okay this year, but I'm thinking this is his last year, and I would go with 5-7 as well. Not good.
Well, Jay, listen, they were optimistic. And you got to realize they bought him in for name recognition. But
they did.
If it wasn't for Neil, I think they would have been a little bit better. But it's also about money. I'm not so much worried about the girlfriend thing. I'm worried about the product he puts on the field. And with Lombardi being suspended, no, that didn't help him out. But we'll see. I thought he was going to bail out the 1 year, which surprisingly he did.
I did too.
So he's there. I just want to see what product he puts on there. You got to realize, Jay, nobody was talking about Carolina winning anything in football anyway. It's known as a basketball school, so it was kind of a distraction. But hey, they're getting
going
on TV.
backwards, DL. They were bowl eligible. It's the first time they weren't bowl eligible since 2018. That was, 7. That wasn't a good look. And I think he's a great coach. He should have been in the NFL. Not all NFL coaches transfer that well into NCAA, and I feel bad for him because he has such a great legacy, and to go into Carolina and so much confusion and it's not a good look. Anyway, I'm trying to be optimistic, and I'm usually a positive person, but I'm hearing a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah. But getting back to what Troy was talking about, Troy Wheelway, if you look at him, you chronicle him, to me, he's ethically challenged as a coach. And he hides behind anonymity, if I said it correctly. He took shots at Hubert twice before he got there, and then after he left to go back to LSU. And he's in a legal issue with State over him leaving. And so he's down there back at LSU, and they're trying to be more relevant in basketball. They've always been relevant in football. They can have the big-name coaches, but it was LSU creating this. I can believe it. I can believe it once they peel back the layers that some booster or finance an attorney to file an injunction to get the young man back in school, but they need to stop it, though, because here's what you're doing. What you're doing when you allow a person that enters the draft, whether he goes selected or he's undrafted, once he goes to camp, he should lose all of his college eligibility once he goes to camp. Even though they're getting paid in college, still think it's a good look. And what you're doing, you're sending a message to those kids that's already been in your spring practice, and as you go into summer camp before the season, their job's in jeopardy. So I don't think it's going to catch on. I really don't think it's going to catch on because I think conferences are going to do away with it. I know it's not going to happen in the Big Ten, but LSU is different down there when it comes to their coaches. They got some coaches down there that do and say some wild things. Kim Mulkey, I like her. She's the girls basketball coach. She's in a little controversy. She had a Ukrainian young lady who quit when she brought in a Russian player because, they're at conflict. And so Will Wade, like I said, went to state 1 year. And then you got Lane Kiffin, who's controversial. He left Mississippi State, and they didn't let him coach in the bowl game. Mississippi State, Ole Miss made the Sugar Bowl, and they would not let him coach. They said if you transfer it to another team in the conference, you were not going to coach the bowl game. And Mississippi, Ole Miss made it to the Final Four of college football last year. And so Lane Kiffin, they got what they want as far as football and basketball. Don't get me wrong. Lane Kiffin's a good coach. Will Wade, even though I don't like him, he's a good college basketball coach. But I still hope both of them lose every game this season.
I agree. I'm with you, DL.
Boy, you guys are spewing a lot of venom this morning. Look, I'm not going to go out there. I mean, well, first of all, guys, come on. Jay, I think fans want microwavable stuff. Okay, you just want to, you thought that Belichick was going to come in and just going to win everything overnight. No, I just you got to give somebody a couple of seasons to make things right. It don't work like that. Come on, man. I mean, and why would you roll like that? I mean, come on, give them a little grace there.
I think, yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying that's just me. I mean, I'm just saying I don't. And look, I have not been a Bill Belichick fan when he was in the NFL, but I'm just saying that I do want to be fair. So if I'm going to be fair to him, and you don't turn around, generally in college ball, they give you about 5 seasons, really, to get it right. There's some distractions, but that's the world we live in now. We live in a very distracted world now. The things have changed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. NIL has made it very difficult for some of these coaches, and I think
right. So I'm saying right.
It's changed the game, and I want to give Belichick the benefit of the doubt. I'm just talking about it's less about his coaching ability. It's more about his ability to have a good team around him, and that means a good coaching team without controversy. And then they say he's not great with young kids. So, you got a great coach, and is he able really to recruit the best? I mean, he's got the name. I would think a lot of kids would want to play for him, but he's just a grouch. And I guess maybe I'm being negative. I'm reading a lot of the media. The media hasn't been good, but you're right. I mean, listen, you got to give them a chance, and let's see what happens. I'm hoping they have a great season.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just let's try to be fair about this. Fast forward, and also with the decision of these youngsters that try out for the NFL and they don't make it, do they have the chance to come back again? Deal, I would apply the same thing. Is it fair to say, okay, you left, and so therefore you can't come back? Even though you didn't make it, that's it. You can't come back. In the world we live in now, with people going from one team to the next, with all those other things, is it fair to take that approach, which is pretty hardcore? Hey, look, you left and you tried out and you can't come back. So, what experience did they gain on a football field by losing and not making the NFL that they could bring back to the NCAA that would give them an advantage over someone that didn't leave? Do they have an advantage, is my question. That, first of all, answer that question for me. Do you believe that because they left and came back, that it gives them some type of professional advantage over somebody that didn't leave?
Well, anybody can be drafted. If you get insight into what it takes to be a pro when you're in training camp. But I just don't think they should be allowed to come back because you said I'm going to the next level, and you were not here during the spring practice. I think the situation is going to remedy itself because a lot of coaches are just not going to do it. A lot of college presidents are not going to go for it.
Yeah, perhaps. But again, though, I mean, at the end of the day, because that's what we talk about, fundamental fairness. I'm saying is that, look, these youngsters that are doing that, they're trying to go, they ain't come from no millionaire, billionaire homes. They're trying to get out there and make a dollar, generally because they come from very impoverished environments. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, we agree with that. But Troy, tomorrow morning, Sunday or either Saturday, all NFL teams have to go from 93 to their 53-man roster, and they're allowed to carry 17 practice squad players, meaning those players on the 17 players on the practice squad, they can be picked up by any other team because they're not on the 53-man roster. Now, are you going to sit on the 17-man practice squad, or are you going back to college? You're not going to make as much. For me, it's not about what their background come back. It's about, to me, the optics of it, and to me, the fairness of it. You want to go pro. You say, my stock, I feel good enough, confident enough to go in the NFL, so I'm going to make that leap. So you're not with that team in spring. You're preparing to go pro. You get invited to spring training, and you see the games. The last games are coming. They started last night, tonight, tomorrow, and then some of them be cut Sunday morning. But now I want to go back to college. Are you enrolling? You know, I guess they do fast enrollments in college. I don't care for it. I just think I think it's unfair to the students that are there because they're going to dip into the NIL money. That's another thing. Are they getting NIL money to come back? Are you getting NIL money? Because I thought the NIL budget was already set. So, but I think they're getting, even with NIL money, I still think people are getting paid under the table and not paying taxes on it, especially down in LSU.
Well, you really don't like LSU.
I'm serious, really. He just tried to kill LSU this morning, man. But guys, I'm saying this right here, though. Look, those youngsters that believe that their futures are going to be changed, not only their futures for themselves, but for their families, trying to climb out of poverty. And they believe the gateway to that is through professional sports. So I can almost guarantee you that somebody else is encouraging them, go pro, could be mama, daddy, brother, sister, uncle, friend, whatever. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to climb out of poverty. That's what they're doing. And that's why they're leaving early, because of that. I mean, it's just because they're poor.
You're not going to make the same. You're not going to make. Just think about it, though. Football, a 6th-round pick. If you look at these salaries, you're taking a chance. If you come out as anything after the 3rd round, you're not guaranteed to make a lot of money. And with taxes, you're just taking a chance.
I know that.
If you're that, football is different. Basketball, you're not going to have this problem because in the NBA, they only have 2 rounds, and that's 32 teams, so it's only 64 players. Because that's why the players do 4 and 5 years in basketball. If you're not guaranteed, they're not going to waste it and do it. So you ain't going to have that problem. In football, I think it's going to write itself out because you're just not going to – you don't get the money in football being a late-round pick compared to basketball. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I just don't think it's going to be a big issue. But I think it's going to work itself out. Because, like you said, you can find a federal district court judge to issue an injunction on anything. Yes, we know that.
That's true. Well, but...
Can I just make one point?
Sure, go, Jay.
And we can talk about this next week because we don't have a lot of time. But, you know, when you talk football, big news came out this week about CTE, the brain disorder that athletes are found to have after they die. And we know that CTE is prevalent with these specifically football players. Well, they did the autopsies of 900 players that died over between, I think it was 2000 to 2019 or something. I don't have the dates right, but there were 900 players. The key message here is 25% of those players that were in the NFL that died and were autopsied had CTE. That is a big issue, It's going to be. It needs to be talked about more. These players are really in a very violent, dangerous sport, and when you see some of these actions like Antonio Brown and some of these crazy antics, you start thinking maybe it's CTE. So just wanted to bring that up because we're talking football. It's a big issue, and it was in the news this week.
No doubt about it. I agree with that.
For next week.
I mean, even in high school football in North Carolina, the number of people that are playing football has decreased because of that. I was out to breakfast with a very good friend of mine about a month ago, and his daughter was there, and she had her little boy, and he was, he's really bulk little kid. My friend said, man, he's going to be playing football one day. And she said, no, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The kid's only more about like 7, 8 months old, but she said, no, he's not playing football. You can forget that. So I don't care if he comes out looking like, one of them linebackers or whatever, on those running backs. That's not going to happen. But I understand what you're saying, though. I just close with this, guys. Look, when you have people fighting to get out of poverty, and they want to fast track it, and the pipe dream is athletics. To many, that is their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So therefore, DL, they're not going to use the type of thinking that you and I would use to try to get our child somewhere else. I mean, we living comfortable, but what about those people that are not living comfortably, and they're fighting to try to get to the next level, and that kid is out there, and they're depending on that child. They're looking forward to that child doing that. Because I know some people like that. I know a guy, he was talking about his son, and he was like, yeah, man, I got my son, somebody's training him, blah, blah. And the kid is about, I got 8 or 9 or something like that, maybe 10. And there are people that are already, they see their child as being this NBA or either NFL player. And I believe it's about the money. I can't get inside of people's head, but I believe it's about the money. And so the kid grows up thinking, hey, look, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go get out here and make all this money. And so they're going to roll the dice, and it's not going to land the way they want it to. I'm not a gambler, but I believe they have something out there called snake eyes, which doesn't win for you, but you understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I do. I think it's well said. I think it is, in many cases, is about getting out of poverty and building wealth. And sports is an opportunity for a lot of these young people to build that wealth, generational wealth. And it's easy to say, well, let's not let them, come back into college if they don't do well. But I see both sides, actually. I see what you're saying, DL. I also see what you're saying, Troy. I could go either way, but I do think that if it's an opportunity for someone to make money and help their families for the future, I think that's a good thing.
Sure. Right. Well, anyway, look here, guys. Our time is up. Any last 15-second comments? DL.
Oh, no, just have a good, safe weekend.
Right. Jay?
Yeah, I'd like to say just thank a teacher, and thank a teacher. They do so much work in our community. So thank you guys so much.
Right. Thank a preacher and a teacher. They go through a lot, too. And, look, man, there's just so many police officers. It's a lot of people out there that contribute. But I understand what you're saying. Hope that you have a great weekend. Might be raining a little bit this weekend, but we need the rain because we're still in a drought and not as severe of a drought as it once was, but we've not gotten out of this thing yet. It's cooling down, so we can go down to the coast and do some fishing. Do you fish, DL?
It's been a minute.
Okay. Jay, do you fish?
I don't like taking a fish off a hook.
Okay. Jeez. Okay, all right. Well, then the answer would be no, you do not like to fish. If you don't like taking the fish off the hook. So you just like to go in the restaurant and order it up.
And eat the fish. That's it.
That's the kind of fishing you like. Anyway, guys, our time is up. Enjoy you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us on today. Stay right here. We're going to be having the Crown coming on. They're going to be talking about the fair and everything else. And so we got some great events in our community here. And we're going to go to the top of the hour news, and we'll be right back.